All right. Welcome back to the podcast. And if you don't already know, my name is Dustin. I am the host of this podcast. I'm also the editor, director, transcript writer, note taker, whatever you want to, whatever else you think goes into it, I do it. And my name is Dustin, as always. I'm extremely grateful you're here with me today and decided to press play on this episode, as always, whether you're listening on Spotify, watching on YouTube, or listening on YouTube or watching on Spotify. However, you're doing it, I'm beyond grateful that you took the time out of your day to listen to me or watch me. There's a lot of noise going on in the world, a lot of things pulling at your attention. So the fact that you're here listening, sharing the moment with me, it truly means the world and it is a blessing in my life that people continue to tune into these episodes. Because what are we on? Episode 10 now? Let me look at my calendar. We are in episode 10. There's not actually a calendar here. It's just a blank wall, but I thought it looked good. Like, oh, I'm organized. My calendar's in my room. But you get my point. So I'm going to jump right into this episode here. And it's kind of just a thought processed episode. I have a lot of notes here on my computer below me. But I've been thinking a lot about time lately. How it slips by without really asking. I would say no, time doesn't ask for anything. It just kind of appears and goes, and you don't have any control over it. How one season ends and another begins before you even notice it happening. It feels like yesterday when 2025 started. I was in Okeechobee, Florida, watching the ball drop by myself. Not in like a lonely, depressive, I have no friends way. Just I was alone at the time, and it was now I'm about to be blessing the Thanksgiving meal this week, which is in what 2 days. I'm recording this on Tuesday, so this year was a blur, man. As you can see, it's the holiday season, so 2025 is winding down. Got a little Christmas tree up, but as a continuum, I was telling myself 2025 was going to be my year, and now in what feels like the blink of an eye, I'm only a few weeks from blessing this Thanksgiving meal coming up. All of that had me thinking, if time moves this fast and if seasons change without warning, then what does that say about the moments we're living in right now? What does that say about the very second that I'm living? It's called the present, so we have to enjoy it because the present is a present. I feel like that's the best way to describe it because you can't relive yesterday and tomorrow is not promised. The only thing promised to you right now is what's happening around you right now. So, like I said, all of that had me thinking, if time moves this fast, if seasons change without warning, then what does that mean about the moments we're living in now? The scripture for this episode comes in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2, in the New Living Translation. I'm going to repeat it twice. For God says, at just the right time, I heard you. On the day of salvation, I helped you. Indeed, the right time is now. Today is the day of salvation. I'm going to read it once again. For God says, at just the right time, I heard you. On the day of salvation, I helped you. Indeed, the right time is now. Today is the day of salvation. When I read that verse, the right time is now, I didn't just hear it, I felt it. Because if I'm being honest, life's been teaching me the same thing in ways I didn't expect. As I said before, the present is what you are given now. So the right time is now. It means this very second, this very day, this very hour, this very minute, this very second. Any time is the right time. Time doesn't ask for permission to sit at the table. I know Thanksgiving is coming up, so everyone's going to be starting to dig into the meals, but time is not going to ask for permission at the table. It's just going to take over and it's just going to show up like your aunties and uncles knock on the door wanting to be welcomed in. Time doesn't do that. Because if I'm being honest, that's just how life is. Time doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't send a warning. It just moves, whether you're paying attention or not. I think back to that night in Okeechobee, that's in Florida, sitting alone watching a New Year's ball drop. There was no noise. There was no crowd. I think I it was just me and the kind of silence that forces you to look at your life and what you have around you. I remember telling myself that 2025 was going to be my year, man. It was going to be different, that I was going to be different. And if I have to look back on this year, it's been a roller coaster. I feel like every year is a roller coaster, but this one, there's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs, there's a lot of risk taken, and there's stuff I probably should have taken the opportunity to do. But here is the thing. That night in Okeechobee wasn't some sad rock bottom moment. It was more like a switch was flipped. It, wa- it was me sitting there thinking, all right, enough waiting, enough doubting, enough letting life push me around. In the moment, I was saying, F it, this is my year. I remember recording a Snapchat video of myself, kind of emotional because every New Year's, I kind of have this weird feeling I don't get from anything else because it just feels like I automatically get older, even though I get older every second of every day. But it's like a motivational type of feeling, but it's also like a sad type of feeling because I'm like, man, life is short. Let's all be honest. Life is short. But it's like, all right, it's not a complete new book, but it's a new chapter in my life. Each year is a chapter. I mean, in this moment back in Okeechobee, it was a moment of fire, a moment of claiming something. And what blows my mind now is I didn't even realize that God had already heard that fire in me. God was already working his ways. That's exactly what this verse is saying. At just at just the right time, I heard you. God isn't out here waiting for your lowest point. With me, I feel like I talk to God the most when I'm at my lowest and it's something I'm turning around and I've gotten better with. When something good happens, I praise him. I say praise to the most high or thank you God. And when I'm at the bottom, I'm like, okay, that was a setback. I know you have better things for me. He hears you in your hungry moments as well, as I just said. When you're hungry, when you want to strive for better, he's there 24/7, 365. He also hears you when you're fed up. When you draw a line in the sand, when you finally get that spark that says, I'm done settling, I'm done playing small. I'm done playing small ball. Get the boys in. Get the 7 foot center, get the 6'8" power forward, get my tallest point guard out there. We're done playing small ball, playing some defense now. And then in the Bible verse, he says, on the day of salvation, I heard you. Meaning, while you were out there declaring you were going to become something, you were going to become something new, God was already moving. God was already putting pieces into action. He was already playing chess. He was already setting things in motion. He was already aligning people, opportunities, and lessons you need, even the ones that didn't look like blessings at first. When God is in action, you don't know why. You don't know why he may take something. You may not know why he gives something. And as I'm saying, and sometimes that meant removing certain people or shutting certain doors down because they knew they weren't meant for where you were going. I've had scenarios when I've been given something and it's a blessing and I continue to have those blessings, but there's also sometimes where I'm given something that is a blessing in my eyes in a moment and then later down the line it turns into something God removed because he knows more than I do. I trust God's path. I trust what He has. I trust what He has for me. I trust Him completely. But the part that ties it all together is this: indeed, the right time is now. Because that night in Okeechobee, I thought the right time was someday. I thought the right time would not be made up by me. I thought it was just going to arrive. I thought I was just going to automatically become mentally better, more physically stronger, just better overall human being. And like I said, I thought there'd be a breakthrough date on the calendar. I thought it was written in the stars. I thought I'd wake up one morning just magically ready. But that verse is God saying, stop waiting, stop overthinking, stop trying to time your growth. The right time is whenever you decide to step into it. The right time is whenever you get serious. The right time is whenever that fire in your chest says now. So when it says the right time is now, the right time is now. It truly is now. You can't wait for something to happen. You can't sit around thinking, man, if I just wait it out, it's going to happen. Everything needs an action. Everything needs momentum. Just like a boulder. Once you start pushing a boulder, it's going to be hard to stop that boulder. You got to keep going. You can't sit around and wait. The right moment is right now. And looking back, that's what hit me. Time never asked me if I was ready. It just kept moving. It didn't pull up a chair and say, "Hey man, you good to start growing?" It's not gonna ask for permission. Like I said, we're using the Thanksgiving because it's coming up, but it's not going to pull up a chair next to you and be like, "Oh, hey man, what's going on? How you been?" It's not gonna ask for permission. Time just happens. But God waits for your turn. God waits for you to turn towards him. He waits for you to step into the moment. He waits for you to choose right now, the present. And the second you do, he'll meet you there. I saw a picture of a illustration of it was him sitting at a dinner table, the little rows in between them, between a chair, an empty chair. Because I thought that was a great illustration because he's always waiting. You can always come to him, and it doesn't matter how late in your life or how early in your life you start to turn towards him, and learn more about him. As something I like to say is following Jesus doesn't require you to be perfect. It requires you to realize you aren't. I'm going to read that again. Following Jesus doesn't require you to be perfect. It requires you to realize that you aren't perfect. That's saying how I've been pounding out this phrase, or my main point is to the right time is now. Whenever you need it, the present is the best time to get help, to start doing the things you want to do, whatever you need to get done, whatever you want to do with your life. The best time is now. So from that night in Okeechobee all the way to Thanksgiving coming up, I realized something. So in the span of this past 11 months, I wasn't waiting for the perfect moment. The moment was waiting for me. And something I say and talk about on this podcast is the best thing I truly did was picking up this little book right here and learning about so many things in life to help me become a better person, help me to become a better man for my future, for my job, for my family, for my kids, for my wife in the future, whatever it may be. I've learned so many things from that Bible. And I believe when I say I wasn't waiting for the perfect moment, the moment was waiting for me. The moment that was waiting for me was to pick up the Bible. When I look back on all of that, it hits me how fast life truly is moving. Not in a sad way, but like just in a real way. As a 21-year-old man, we act like we have endless time. Like I've always got another chance to fix things, to grow, to change, or to show up. That's another big point there, is that life truly is short. I mean, think about how long Earth has been around, and think about how short of a time frame you have to live your life compared to how long the Earth is going to be around and how long it has been around. It's something that makes you think, but it's also something that makes you feel bad because you look around and you hear these stories about people passing when they're young, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. But it's also a reminder that you truly aren't eternal. You are going to pass. Your mom's going to pass away. Your dad's going to pass away. Your brother or your sister's going to pass away. Your wife will pass away, or your husband, whatever it may be. None of us are eternal. Sadly, your dog is going to pass away. I know that one hurts me. I Every time I had one of my little doggos die, it sucked. But as I continue to say, we don't get another chance to fix things, to grow, or to change. We won't get any chance. We don't get too many chances because tomorrow isn't promised. And I learned this the hard way due to, you guessed it, football. The things that change, the passion I still have for the game, man, it still bleeds. It bleeds every day. Whether I'm talking to someone about football, whether I'm watching football, whether I'm learning more about the game, it's involved in my life every stinking day, man. I don't know. I can't tell you the last time I went a day where football wasn't involved in my life. I'd have to probably when I was like 5 years old was the last time where football wasn't a part of my day. And what I mean by that is whether I see it on Instagram or something, I count that as a part of my day. So I can't tell you the last time. Maybe it might be before 5 because that's when I was like getting into it. I mean, growing up a Steelers fan in Pennsylvania, it's a part of your everyday life. I mean, go Steelers, but I grew up with football. And so I had this dream not so long ago where I was back in the locker room screaming, yelling, and had all this passion pouring out of me because I had those pads on again. I can recall the uh, dream perfectly. It started off with me in my high school locker room. I was getting all mad. I was mad. I had a lot of anger. I had a lot of compressed emotions with me from sadness to happiness to anger. Because since football ended, I went through a lot, man. My life turned, it did a whole 180. I learned so much since football. I've also missed so much from football. And then the dream kind of blacked out. And then it was the same thing in my college locker room. So it was a very emotional dream, man. It was one of the ones that's going to stick with me for a while, but it just shows you how much passion and anger and all this stuff I had towards the game still. But as I say, we don't get all these chances, man. I sat there in high school thinking, man, I'm going to have football for the rest of my life. I'm going to be playing it till I'm 43 like I'm Tom Brady. And you don't. No, I'm going to be playing till I'm 43. I ended at what, 21? It you never know how fast things can change in a snap. Whether it's good news or bad news. Life is so wild. Just I honestly don't even know how to explain it. It's just a wild roller coaster of emotions, and each day can be completely different. But sadly, in this dream, I woke up in my twin bed with my alarm blaring, telling me to get up and go to class and go to work and do all these things. And none of them involved putting the pads back on, sadly. But as I continue, like I said, we only get so many years, so many moments, so many chances to become the person we keep talking about becoming. We only get so many chances, and that's why I'm going to keep pounding at this rock. The best time is right now. From the title of this episode, we only get so many sunsets. And I think that's the part that nobody wants to admit. Most of us waste so much time waiting for life to just calm down and ease down so we can start tackling the things we want to do. Like, oh, I have an assignment due Friday and it's Tuesday. I can just do it at Thursday night. That's something I still do, but you don't want to keep putting away things for a later date, especially your dreams, man, especially your passions. That's why I say you only have so many chances to become the person you want to become. You don't want to keep delaying these, especially with how much passion you have towards something. The action, man, you need to take the action now. And I think that's the part that nobody wants to admit is about that we only have so many sunsets. Most of us waste so much time waiting for the things to calm down, as I mentioned. We wait to feel ready. We're waiting for the perfect moment. And meanwhile, the days are just sliding off the calendar. It is about to be Thanksgiving, and it felt like yesterday I was in Florida thinking about 2025. And that's crazy to even think about because I feel like my past year has just been so different, I'd say. It's just been so emotionally, sorry, it's just been such an emotional roller coaster where I could think about the big things, like the big things that happened this past year, and the little things not the little things, the big good things that happened this past year, and the big bad things that happened this past year. And I think about it, and all these filler days, I don't even remember. And all of a sudden, I'm about to be back there. Let's go, 2026. Time doesn't slow down because you're stressed. It doesn't pause because you're scared. It doesn't dap you up and say, yo, bro, you good? Want me to wait? It's not gonna wait on you. It's just gonna keep going. It doesn't. It doesn't wait on you. Time just keeps going. But God, as I mentioned in that illustration, God doesn't rush you. God doesn't pressure you. He just keeps giving you these daily chances, these sunsets that are promised, which are today. Today is the only sunset that you are promised. You get this opportunity to step into who you're supposed to be. And that's what the verse is really saying. The right time is now. Not when your life is perfect, not not when you stop overthinking, not when everything around you lines up. Now, as you are right now, in this very second, in this very day, right in the middle of all your chaos. I know that it's end of November, so you may be busy at work trying to get money to have a good holiday season. You may be busy with finals for your classes. You may be in high school trying to get through these classes. Look, getting the Christmas break. All this chaos, right in the middle of all this growth, right in the middle of you trying to figure this thing life is all about. That's what hits the hardest. We don't know how many sunsets we have left, but every single one we do is another chance to show up. Every day we have is an opportunity for you to show up for yourself. So, how can you show up for yourself? How do you feel better about yourself? How do you feel better as a person in the life that you are trending towards? Well, I'd say you got to be grateful, you got to heal, you got to forgive, you got to try again, you got to build discipline, and you got to become a better person than you were yesterday. So, as I continue to say, life is short, yeah, but it's also generous. It gives us these small, quiet moments every single day, and most of us are too distracted to even notice. So, if there's one thing I want you to get from this episode, it's this: stop waiting for the right moment. The right moment is whatever moment you're in right now, because you don't control how many sunsets you got left, but you definitely control what you do with the ones you still have. So, I'm going to kind of summarize this episode up. The verse came from Second Corinthians chapter 3, I believe, chapter 6, verse 2. And that verse was, "For God says, at just the right time I heard you. On the day of salvation I helped you. Indeed, the right time is now. Today is the day of salvation." And the other thing I really want to key in on is following Jesus doesn't require you to be perfect. It requires you to realize you aren't. So, as I keep on saying, the right time is now, man. Take the risk. Do what you got to do. I mean, change is something. Everything changes. As my good friend Ryan says, he loves change. Take a note out of his book. He loves change, and that's something I say is nothing changes if nothing changes. So the right time is now, man. So whether you're debating about getting that internship, go do the internship, man. You're debating about whether you should go see your family, go see your family. Whether you're deciding to go ask that girl or guy out, man, put on a little outfit, make look good, put some cologne on or perfume, walk up to him or her and start talking. You're not gonna not every day's promise is what I'm saying. And that's the biggest thing I want people to remember from this episode is that the right time is now. You have so much potential that you don't even know. But a lot of us waste it because we just think it's going to happen in the future. Nothing changes if nothing changes, man. You got to take action for yourself. You got to hold yourself to a standard. Like Mike Tomlin says, the standard is the standard, but I'd say your standard is what you make of it, and you want to blast that standard out of the water. You want to be the best human being you can be, whether that means to forgive someone, whether that means to help someone, whether you're healing from an incident, whether you're just happy overall, continue to be happy, whether you're kind of down in the dumps. It's okay to be down in the dumps, but hey, new day, snap out of it. Let's go. New opportunities. Get going. Start getting the flow, ease back into it. As always, thank you guys for tuning in to Search for Smiles. I'm your host, Dustin. And I really appreciate you being a part of this moment with me. My hope is that something in this episode sticks with you, something that helps you live with more information, more intention, more gratitude, and more awareness of the time God has given you. And as always, 1 Corinthians 10:31 says, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God." Let that be your foundation this week, whether it is 1 Corinthians 10:31 or following Jesus doesn't require you to be perfect. It requires you to realize you aren't, or 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verses 2 in the NLT, New Living Translation. So, as always, thanks again for listening. I'm going to let my boy P, that boy Praise, take it away with the song Long Day. If you haven't listened to it already, go listen to it. He's on tour now. So big shout out to Praise. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.